Well, the ANC-NEC meeting this weekend has been full of drama. Suspended Secretary-General Ace Magashule and ANC MP Bongani Bongo were booted out of the virtual meeting. While former President Thabo Mbeki raised serious concerns, saying the party is on the verge of collapsing.
So how great is that to hear, that the ANC is on the verge of collapse? Now let's be clear. The ENCA said that Thabo Mbeki made the claim, but he didn't. All that Thabo Mbeki did was repeat the claim made by Battered Dlamini, the head of the ANC's Women's League and someone who likes to throw her toys around. Still, poor reporting aside, it has looked for a while as though the internal divisions of the ANC are pushing the party toward failure. Between this year's municipal elections and the general elections in 2024, we may well have reached a breaking point, for better or worse.
I suppose I'll ask a question with which other NEC members have been asking through some of the leaked audio that we've also heard, whether or not the ANC can be saved. What are your thoughts on this? Is the ANC collapsing, and can it be saved?
I think the better question is, can South Africa still be saved from the ANC, or will the ANC take us down along with them? It doesn't really matter what colour you are. The fact is that South Africa under the ANC has steadily become a less rewarding and more dangerous place for every South African who has chosen or been forced to remain here. Aside from the top ANC leaders themselves, of course, they've been having a grand old time. Every state-owned enterprise was long ago turned into a slush fund, perpetually in the red and in annual need of tax-funded bailouts. The police are losing ground in the face of a thriving criminal underground armed straight from the stores of the National Defence Force, and our borders are made of butter while the vast majority of South Africans continue to exist as second-class citizens in their own country. Not much different from what their lives would have been under the previous regime. On this loose topic, I thought that Frans Cronje over at the Centre for Risk Analysis said something very interesting the other day.
Look at the ANC support in urban areas, the local government election results, the losses of Cape Town, of Johannesburg, of Port Elizabeth, of Pretoria. It's all there already. We knew it already. But what we've now got is a new piece of substantiating data to show that poorer and more desperate people, for the time being, may be more loyal ANC supporters, more loyal to the party and voting for it, than people who have jobs and who see their own property and see their lives beginning to improve. And that is a very perilous point for South Africa to have reached.
In some ways, this is simply a statement of the obvious. We've all known for a while now that the ANC relies on an uneducated and or dependent population for its own survival. Essentially, the same people who were kept down and exploited by the apartheid government are now being bled for their support by the ANC government. Given the EFF's focus on high birth rate and Pan-Africanism, it can be assumed that their plan for the country would be much the same. What was noticeable to me was how Frans Cronje described the dissolution of aspiration as almost a conscious strategy by the ANC. If you crush a person's ability to hope for or believe in something better, you also destroy their will to fight for anything more than their next meal. Describe it as achieving equity, and the hopeless can be used to pull down the shrinking ranks of the hopeful. It's very communist thinking, and is also a central strut of the Democrat Party in the United States, as well as most modern social justice movements. In fact, social justice movements with their focus on victimhood and disempowerment are some of the primary forces perpetuating this twisted thinking. And it also does a good job of encapsulating the logic behind the World Economic Forum's prediction that you will own nothing and you will be happy. Basically, they hide a loss of autonomy behind lies about utopian happiness and hope you won't notice what you've lost until the cage door slams shut behind you. Whether their interests are international or local, comrades like Cyril, Zuma, Thabo, Ace and the rest of them all want to sell the country out for their own personal financial gain. For all of its much-touted revolutionary values, the ANC has been their vehicle to do exactly that for 27 years, and now that the money is running out, the thieves are showing what their loyalty is worth as they all vie for fragments of power. That all said, I think that discussion of the party's collapse is a little bit premature. If nothing else, the ANC has survival in its DNA, and I suspect we're going to have to ride out a few more years with them at least. It's an ugly situation, but if you're South African, you've already had to consider the prospect of far worse than simply riding out the dying throes of a corrupt and rotting state government. Anyway guys, if you made it this far, you kick ass. Please like this video, subscribe, and I will catch you later. Cheers.